Hi, and welcome to episode number 3 of What's Left in Our Tanks. I am Rob, and this is my wife,
Eileen.
So welcome again. We just want to do another recap of the last few weeks, but it is a little bit different from the other ones. I did end up in an ambulance and going to ER, so we'll be touching on that. But it started off, basically we're now into Arizona, because the end of the last video, I think it was Winslow. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Okay.
But the beginning of this one starts at Roper Lake. So
Roper Lake, yeah, Roper Lake State Park. So we were heading down Arizona really because we were going to go and meet up with a good friend of the family. Actually, our daughter Becca worked with this guy for a long time in Reno, and
he took her under his wing and became her second dad.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Petey.
So he was there for her, in the same area. When she was in Reno, so he did a lot for her, and we were very grateful for that. So we wanted to go and stay with him for a couple of days. So we also went down to Tombstone because that's kind of towards the same area that he lived in. But the first stop,
you're off track.
I know, the first stop was Roper Lake State Park, and once again another really good state park. They
Love
are awesome for the
campgrounds.
campgrounds, and you had a beach there?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, the lake with the what are the coots?
Coots.
Coots.
Yes. Lots. Yeah, not many ducks, but lots of coots. They're the black ones with the white beaks. But yeah, so it's actually a small lake, but we're just walking around from the campsite, and there's a nice little beach there again, virtually deserted. We went there on the first evening. It was a little too late to really do anything there, but we went back the next day and had a picnic. Another beautiful day there. So that was a good start.
We even went swimming, and it wasn't that cold. It was nice.
Right, for sure. And then so on the way to Tombstone, we went to the caverns, the Karchner Caverns. So we did the tour of the caverns there, which was really impressive, right? The stalactites and the bacon. I'm going to show you a photo of the bacon. That was.
We
really
didn't
beautiful.
go into the one that had the bats because I don't like bats. So we went into these ones are wet caves, right?
Yeah.
You call them wet caves. But anyway, it was beautiful, and had a really nice tour through the caves or caverns, and we'll have some pictures for you. Oh no, we won't have pictures because they wouldn't let us take any.
Right.
And our tour guide was good, but she was a little talky. So
right.
And it was a big group of people, so it was kind of chaotic inside the caverns, but it was beautiful, and I wish that we could have taken some pictures, but we couldn't.
Sure, yeah. And then from there, so we did go to Tombstone.
Oh yeah. Our little
it was a little harvest
host
run. The reason we went with the harvest host is because it was right in town. It was literally two blocks from the OK Corral. So we set up there. We didn't actually do the OK Corral tourist thing. No. Kind of a little lame, we thought. But we did walk through the old town, went to the saloon. I can't remember the name of the saloon.
Big Nose Kate.
Big Nose Kate. There you go.
Cool little saloon. We had a good time there. And the bartender was really nice. Big Al. That was his name.
There you go. Good memory.
Thank you.
Good memory. And then so we went to see Pete. He lives in Eloy, Eloy, in Arizona. No idea why he decided to move there, but he did. And
he kind of
went and stayed with him.
But anyway, we saw Pete and his wife Kelly.
Right.
And we got there later in the day, right? Mm-hmm. So and Kelly was at an appointment, and she called and said, "Hey, meet up with us at or meet up with me at Lynn's, which is a little Chinese buffet. But
all you can eat buffet.
All
yeah.
you can eat buffet.
Yeah.
Anyway, really good food, and we enjoyed that and had a nice dinner. And then went back to the house and hung out with them for a while. She had to work the next day, so she had to go to bed. But we got to visit with Pete for quite a while.
Okay.
Oh, but on our way to Pete's house, we stopped at that little pub at the airport. Remember?
No.
The pub at
yeah,
the
yeah.
airport. What
yes.
was it called? The prop
So
or something like that.
It's like apparently the skydiving capital of the country, virtually. And there was a bar there on site, and we played a little pool.
Yeah.
Well,
we were waiting for Pete to get home from work,
and
and Pete wasn't home from work yet, so we had to wait for him
okay.
To get home. So we found a place to just go hang out until he let us know he was at the house. Anyway, he set us up in his backyard.
I think it was 5-0 to me.
Okay, whatever. We're not talking about that because
5-0.
he beat me. But anyway, Pete set us up in the backyard, which had a back gate entrance, so we were able to pull the RV in with a little bit of difficulty, but it worked and we got in there. And then the next day,
the RV has a big butt, right?
It does have a big butt.
10 feet past the back axle. And
no reference to Ginny though.
And and then we have the e-bikes on the back, so that swings out quite a lot when you're trying to get into tight places.
Places. And it was pretty
fun.
tight.
Do a
but
little
it
bit
was
of shunting.
And we got in.
Yeah.
And Pete hooked us up with electricity and water. And then the next day, we went and did shopping. We went shopping at,
we went for breakfast.
We went to breakfast at this nice little cafe. And then Pete took us and we did some errands and got a few things for the RV. And then we went back to his house and, he did try to put the heater on the pool, but it didn't. He should have done it days before we got there. But anyway, so we didn't swim, but we put our feet in. And then he had some friends over, and we had a nice barbecue and hung out.
The friends were nice.
Yeah, they were very nice.
He wasn't very kind the way he referred to them.
Oh, don't do that. Anyway, but the one friend of Pete's did have a whole bunch of Rob's now favorite beer, Kilt Lifter. And he gave him like 3 cases of it.
2 cases,
Two cases of it to bring with us. And so that was super
awesome.
sweet. And they were really nice. And we had a good time. And then Kelly got home from work a little bit later. And we hung out with her. And so it was a lot of fun. We had a good time with Pete. And I'm glad we got to spend some time with him.
Right.
And then we moved on to...
Well, we went to Mesa. Just outside of Phoenix,
where Gemma, my cousin, and her husband Rob live, and we stayed at. Well, this was kind of a funny place, but it was a harvest house, and it was called Superstition Farm, and it was basically a. It
was a non-profit, rescue animals. So they had, what do they have? Goats,
ponies,
sheep, ponies,
tortoise,
donkeys,
bunnies.
Yeah.
All kinds of animals, but it was kind of weird. It was just a little parking lot in the back that we parked up in, but it was good enough for what we needed. And we mostly just went to Mesa so we could meet up with Gemma and her husband Rob, and they kindly invited us to their home for dinner, and they picked us up from the campsite because we only have our e-bikes, and they were about 17 miles away from where we were staying. So they picked us up, and we went back to their house and had a lovely dinner.
We did indeed.
Gemma made us chicken enchiladas and rice and all the trimmings, and her son John and his wife Sarah were there with their 2 boys, and really enjoyed dinner and had a really nice visit with them. And I'm glad we got to have that time with them while we were in the area. So thank you, Gemma and Rob, if you're watching.
And Sarah and John.
And Sarah and John. And the boys, because I can't remember their names. Uh-oh. Anyway.
So what was next? Spring Creek Ranch. So this was a ranch outside of the town. and they had a really good setup there, but only really for 2 RVs. But we were the only ones there. But they had electric and water hookup, all that good stuff, and it was alongside the creek. We were able to go on a little walk alongside the creek there, and it was
never did see the
spot.
owner. Well, we did see them, but we never
The
spoke to
owner's
them.
son I spoke to, but never saw the actual owner.
But when we pulled in, we went the wrong way, and we ran into the uncle of the man who runs the Harvest Host, and he was funny. He was a funny guy. A little worried that he might pull out a gun on us because we drove onto his private property. But anyway, we were safe, and we stayed the night there. Oh, before we went there, we went to that little bar around the corner. And Rob got offered to play in a pool tournament, which he declined. And
oh yeah, that's right. And I was kind of like, I'm in an hour on whether or not to play in it, but just then the thought came across, well, what if I win? You're just this outsider coming. It was like I'm a hustler or something. And then they started playing, and I wish I did because they were terrible.
And you would have won. But anyway, we had fun, and we had a beer there, and then we went to our campsite. And then from there we went to Page. Yes, Page. Was supposed to have a lot of activity in Page, but unfortunately,
well, we did go down to the dam.
We
overlook,
rode our bikes to the dam,
the Glen Canyon dam overlook, which was
what was
fantastic.
the name of the dam? I can't remember. The dam.
I just told you. The Glen Canyon Dam.
Oh, Glen Canyon. I thought you said...
It's on the Colorado.
I thought you said Grand Canyon. Okay, anyway, the Glen Canyon Dam. Really cool.
So we did that the first day, yeah, that was really cool.
And on our way back from there...
And, well, no, I mean, the next day we were going to go to the beach, and there'd be a really nice beach there, and maybe the day after that, the Lone Rock Beach, a couple of other outlets, that sort of thing we were going to do there. But we needed to get some groceries, right? So we went to the grocery store on the way back on our e-bikes. And Page is not really set up well for bike riding. They don't have bike lanes and that sort of thing. So I planned a route through, basically through the residential area, which was great going there, right?
Yeah.
And we were kind of like 2/3 of the way back, going through this little neighborhood. And this Pitbull ran out, wasn't on a leash, just ran out, charged at me, basically, and bit me on the calf, latched onto my calf.
Didn't bite you, he grabbed onto you, and thankfully you shook him off, because if not, you would have fallen off your bike. And
I didn't fall off the bike,
He didn't fall off the bike. We're good at staying on the bikes.
Right.
Anyway, I was behind him, and I saw this pit bull run out and grasp onto his calf, and he was able, like I said, he was able to shake it off. But and then it looked at me, and I screamed, "Go away!" and it ran back to the house. And Rob, because he didn't fall off his bike, kept riding, and I'm behind him, and I can just see blood pouring down his leg into his shoe. And we turned the corner, or a couple of corners, and there happened to be a police officer right there outside of the school that we were driving by. And so I stopped, and I told him my husband just got attacked by a pit bull around the corner. So he was very nice. Officer Harris in Page, Arizona. Very nice man. And I was panicking because, Rob is on blood thinners, and he's bleeding, and so he called the paramedics, and they came, and they it was deep enough to where they thought he needed to go to the emergency. Well, then I started to panic even more, because here I am with 2 bikes and 3 baskets full of groceries, and I'm like, how am I going to get these bikes to the campsite if they take my husband to the emergency room? And the officer, very kind man, said, we'll get the bikes on he had like a little pickup kind of SUV with a little back part on it. So they took Rob to the hospital, and Officer Harris between the two of us, we loaded the bikes onto the back of his little car, and then he drove me back to the campsite and helped me unload them and let me put my groceries away. And then he was going to drive me to the hospital so I could go see what was happening with Rob. But in the meantime, we had met these really nice ladies who were camping next to us, Judy and Karen. And she's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And so she said, "We'll take her to the hospital." So so the officer left and went back to the hospital to check on Rob. And then Judy and Karen drove me to the hospital. And he ended up getting
11 sutures
11
3 puncture
stitches.
wounds.
So anyway, he's doing good now, and it's not infected, and it's healing well.
Yeah, the thing about dog bites is as you probably know, is the risk of infection, really, because it's like puncture wounds, and really it's just pushing whatever dirt and dust you have on the outside of your leg, plus whatever's in the mouth and the teeth of the dog itself, and that gets just like pushed inside the wound. So it's kind of difficult to make sure that it doesn't get infected. The doctor actually did the sutures quite loose so that it would kind of like drain any
too many
out.
details.
So yeah. Anyway,
and we're going to show a picture.
Good.
So if you have a weak stomach, don't look at the picture that pops up.
Looking good now, but
it changed our plans.
Yeah, changed our plans.
Let's put it that way.
A little bit.
We've cut a few destinations
Yeah,
out.
it meant that we couldn't really do anything much in Page for the rest of the time there. We were there 4 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like the first day.
Gave him time to heal.
Yeah, and then also we started thinking about, well, we've got to get the sutures taken out after 2 weeks. And what we found out with the insurance was that, yeah, we were totally covered by Eileen's insurance from where she worked for the state. So Kaiser covered all the emergency stuff, but not a follow-up if it was not a Kaiser hospital or a Kaiser medical center.
Which there are none in Arizona.
No.
And there are some in...
No, Nevada are going into partnership with them next year.
Yeah. So none in Nevada. So we thought, okay, we got to get back to California before the 2 weeks is up so that Rob can get his sutures removed.
Otherwise, it'll be out of pocket, and whatever.
So
that cost
it cut our trip short by a few things that we were going to see.
Yeah, 3 to 4 days.
And so then we went. So we left there after he was healed enough that we felt. We did go back to the hospital to have the doctor look at his suture or at his wounds to make sure that they weren't infected, and because his leg was really swollen, and I was concerned about leaving and not having any medical care if we needed it.
Yeah. So the day we were leaving Page, just outside of Page is Horseshoe Bend, right. Another big bend in the Colorado River. And it was quite a little walk down to the outlook there,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And by the time we walked back up,
yeah,
the leg was getting a little angry, a little swollen and red and that sort of thing. So we just checked that out to make sure it wasn't a big issue. And we're sent on our way. So where we went after that was another great site. It's called Lee's Ferry.
Was that a state? No, that was a national
park. It was run by the NPS. It's not a national park as such, but it's run by the National Park Service. But it's not usually manned, so they have a machine where the entry to the park where you pay, and then you go ahead. And so it's kind of like on a system, But there's big sign there because of the government shutdown, they weren't emptying this box. So it would have got full and would have had issues with it. So it's basically had a big sign on it saying, hey, it's free.
Free. Go on in.
So that was a really good campsite over on a kind of like a little bit of a bluff, overlooked the area down to the Colorado River, the bend on the Colorado River there. And the Lee's Ferry was a point where you could cross the river So back in the day, that would have been, before there was any of the bridges, that was really only one of the access across the river for hundreds of miles in either direction. So that was kind of nice. Right?
Yeah, I love that campsite, and it overlooked the river, and we had the bluff or the canyon or whatever across the river, beautiful view. And then we rode our bikes down.
To where the ferry
would go used to go, and then we found this cool little orchard.
Yeah,
that it was. It's an orchard that was, I can't remember the history of it, but it was Lee's. He ended up getting executed, right?
Okay, yeah. So we're going back to the Meadow Massacre.
Yeah,
that I think we talked about earlier on
in our first video.
In our first video, yeah. And he was one of the people involved and escaped, and so he came to this area, set up the ferry, set up the ranch there, and eventually they caught up with him, and yeah, he got executed for his wrongdoings, rightfully so.
Yes,
absolutely.
So we went down to the orchards, which it was basically just like a little area that had a whole 8 different types of fruit trees and almonds, and it was free to just go in and you could pick whatever fruit that was available. Unfortunately, because we're there at the fall, there was no fruit available, but it was really cute, and it had some old cabins and history of the people that had started that little farm or
so we had a little picnic. They had a picnic area down there too,
had a picnic
on the ranch.
And,
so it was nice.
Learned a little bit about the area through all of their little history signs or monument. What do you call them? Anyway, so then where did we go from there? Oh, so then we went to the Grand Canyon.
We did indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, so we'd been there. What was it? 20 years prior, right? Basically
19 years, 300.
But we kind of did, if you know Grand Canyon at all, we kind of went to the visitor center area, and then to the west side, the west side, and saw the canyon from there. So we were driving in on the desert scenic drive. So we saw all the outcrops from that east side, but on the way in, you actually see the canyon created by the little Colorado River.
Oh yeah, that was really pretty,
and it was actually impressive. Yeah. Do not underestimate the little Colorado River.
That was another sacred tribal ground.
Was.
That the Navajo tribe runs it, and they have you give a donation. It's not really a fee, you just donate, and it helps maintain the park. But it was a really cool park and beautiful. I mean, the canyon was amazing. But so from there, then we went into the actual Grand Canyon National Park, which was open, the only national park that's
the visitor center was closed, but other
than that, everything was open and available to us. So we drove in and stopped at all the little viewpoints.
Another beautiful day.
Again,
weather fantastic all the way through this time.
We haven't had rain since we left Utah. Bluff, Utah.
Yeah.
So it's been beautiful. And so we did that whole Grand Canyon thing, and then we went and stayed at, I don't know if anybody is familiar with it, but it's called Raptor RV, and it's the Bedrock park, like little tour park or whatever. And it's all based on the Flintstones. And the campsite had a sign of Fred with Yabba Dabba Doo on it, and so we stayed there for one night.
Yeah, but you staying in the RV park, you got free entry to the Bedrock.
Right,
and
so
we
we
thought,
went in.
we do this. This sounds like really lame, and kind of like it's for the kids. But hey, it's free, so we went in there, and it was actually quite fun.
We enjoyed it. We had a really good time, and they had a big, huge owl, and they had sheep and llama, and and then they have like the whole town of Bedrock is built behind this cement wall
Yeah.
that you can't see from the road, but when you go back there, it's like the whole town of Bedrock was there, so it was really cool.
It's a strange place. So it has that, and the raptor part is that they have falcons and birds of prey, and so they do a show a couple of times a day where you can hold a piece of meat for the bird to take from your glove and that sort of. We didn't do that, but they have that.
Well, because they wanted $180 each to do that.
They have a restaurant there. They have a general store there, and they had the RV park. So multiple revenue streams.
But the RV park is basically right on the highway, but it wasn't loud. It was okay. Fine.
Yeah,
we slept fine. Anyway, so then from there we came to
the Grand Canyon Caverns.
Caverns, yes, which is dry caverns, not wet like the ones we went to before, and that was in Peach Springs,
which is one of the little villages that inspired the movie Cars. It's right on. It's the part of Route 66 that bends. Well, so when they built 40, the freeway, they kind of went a shorter way past this area. So you got Seligman, which we went to. That was a fun little.
Well, from the Grand Canyon, we got on to Route 66.
Yeah.
And we went through, what was that first little town?
Seligman.
No, William.
Oh, yeah, we went through Williams,
Went through Williams, which was really a cool little town, and they already have it fully decked out they're in the process of decking it out for Christmas. Really cool town with a bunch of really nice little shops, and we enjoyed that a lot. And then we just continued on Route 66 and kind of stopped at all the little...
Seligman. Don't do that.
Sorry.
Vibrating.
I talk with my hands. I can't help it. Route 66. So we stopped, I don't know, 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah, so it's
along
Williams,
the way.
Seligman, and then, like I say, Peach Springs is one of the tinier ones that are way out of the way from I-40 that really got cut off and were affected when they built the freeway. But there they have the Grand Canyon Caverns. So, like you say, it's a dry canyon, so that's caverns. So really different from the wet ones with the stalactites and stalagmites, that sort of thing. But a couple of amazing things there, right?
Right. Well, we had a private tour because we were the only ones there to go on the tour. They just opened back up in June or July, because they had a elevator incident that my husband failed to tell me about. But the elevator was replaced and they reopened in June. But before it was replaced, apparently it got stuck like for 24 hours with people on the elevator. And so
it takes you down 220 feet of the 300 feet down to the caverns.
So these people were stuck somewhere between the top and the bottom for 24 hours in the elevator. Well, thankfully Rob didn't tell me about that because I probably wouldn't have got on the elevator. But anyway, it was a new elevator and we got down there. But our Ariane, was that her name?
Ariane, yeah.
Ariane, great tour guide, and she just let us go at our own pace, and she answered all our questions, and she let us take pictures, and she did a great job, and she gave us all the really cool information about
a couple of things there. So this is the storage area. So in the Cuban Missile Crisis, Kennedy approached the people who were running caverns and caves and had them store emergency supplies in case of nuclear war. So this storage area was for the residents of Peach Springs. So it was supposed to be supplies for 2,000 people. The thing about it being a dry cave is that there's no moisture at all in the cave. It's absolutely moisture free. So these are the original supplies, and they're still intact 60 years later.
Yeah, fully intact. And the cardboard and the tape on the cardboard boxes was still looked like it was brand new. Nothing
Crazy.
decomposed or got
Right. And then along the same lines, no, decom.
huh? Bob?
I couldn't say the word. Decomposing.
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't spit it out.
We came
Anyway,
across a bobcat that
yeah,
fell into
mummified bobcat.
a mummified bobcat that had fell into the caves before they were even discovered, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it still had its
They
skin.
found him when they were building the concrete
right,
pathway.
yeah, and it still had its skin and its fur and everything. It was just mummified down there because there's no moisture to help it decompose. But anyway, that was really cool. We
And
enjoyed
then also
that.
the giant.
We're coming up on 30 minutes.
Okay,
so
the giant ground sloth.
Oh yeah.
That had fallen in, and so they have a model of it, but on the wall you can see the scratches where it desperately tried to get back out of the caves. Of course, he had no chance. They had come in through the sinkhole, the original sinkhole at the top, and he'd fallen in, couldn't get out, and yeah, that's a terrible way to go, right?
Yeah, yeah. So then from the caverns, so we stayed there for 2 nights, right?
Yeah.
Went and had a nice little dinner at the restaurant there, and then we left the next day, and now we are at
Big Bend of the Colorado
River State Park. Another beautiful state park, and we're like literally
Nevada side.
Yeah.
So the border is the river, and we just crossed it over to the Nevada side,
and we passed Laughlin, and my husband wouldn't let me go gamble. So anyway, but we had a beautiful day. We had a beautiful day yesterday. It was 85 degrees, so we packed up a picnic lunch and took our bikes down to the beach. And unfortunately, Rob cannot go into the water yet because of his leg. But I went full on in, and it was really nice, and had a really nice time laid on the beach and had our picnic and a couple of beers, and then we came back to the house and made Chinese food for dinner. And it was delicious. And we're having leftovers tonight. Yeah, leftovers tonight.
Looking forward to that.
Anyway, so that's about it. So tomorrow we leave here and we head to, we're going to go into Mojave for 1 night, right?
No, Barstow.
No, Barstow, sorry. Not
yeah,
Mojave.
So we're basically heading home.
Yeah, we're heading home now. So
to Sacramento. So, yeah, tomorrow is Barstow. There's a Harvest Host there.
Right.
Happens to be a bar.
And then the next, oh gosh, is it going to be another $140 night?
Yeah.
And then the night after that, we're staying with Christina and Brandon. And then the night after that, in Tehachapi. And the night after that, we are going to be in Merced at the Elks Lodge campground, which is where we've stayed before, and we really liked it. So, and then the day after that, we head into Sacramento, go straight to the doctor's office to get the sutures removed. And then we'll be there for 3 or 4 days. And then we head to Markleyville for the holidays. Right. So that's kind of a wrap on this year's travel.
Well, we might do one just before Christmas, right?
Well, we'll do another one just to let you know what we're doing in Markleyville. And I'm going to see my cousin Trish in Minden. And yeah, so that's about it for now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed us. If you do, please subscribe and like. So it's goodbye from me, and it's
goodbye from you.
From him, yeah. Bye. Love you guys. Thanks a lot.
Love you. Bye. Bye-bye.